Hi there. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my talk. Now is my turn. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Stephen Dosu, all the way from Togo, Togo. I'm a speaker, coach, author, co-founder of Leadership University, and I am going to be spending time with you right now, and we're going to be talking about something very interesting. But before we even dive in deeper, okay, first thing that I want you to do, if you're watching me right now from wherever you watch it is, I want you to put your phone away for just the next 15 to 18 minutes. So that whatever I'm about to give you today, you can take it, put it into your mind, and walk with it, okay? Walk, run, do whatever you're gonna do, and fly with it, all right? They say that a mind stretched to new dimension never, ever, ever gets back to its original size, okay? And that's what I want to do to you today. I want to stretch your mind to new dimension. Look, there is this village in Congo, right? It still exists till today. And in this village, there are a bunch of tribes and ethnicities. So what will happen in each of these tribes, what these tribes had in common is that when men and women reach the age of 18, so boys and girls basically before they transcend into, becoming men and women, what they will do is they will have to be away from their homes at least for 77 days. And in groups of 4, they have to get together deep in the jungle, meditate, learn from nature for 77 days. And after that, they will come back to their village. But how this ceremony ended was that the king of the village himself will crash, will use leaves and all kind of things and make, little colors of things in calabash. And when these boys and girls will be back from their initiation, their self-initiations, what will happen is this king himself will come and draw steps of color, all right, from a meeting place in the forest. One by one, will paint these steps of color for each of these boys and girls that they will walk on all the way to their respective homes. And it is believed that these steps of color that this king draws, or paints for these boys and girls, it is believed that these steps of color, it's simply there, not only to welcome them home, but also for the king to recognize that now that they've become men and women, the ultimate wisdom is theirs, and they are to live a long life full of joy and milk and honey. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason why I'm telling you this story is that in the next 15, 18 minutes, I am going to be playing the role of this king. I am going to be painting for you steps of color so that wherever you're watching me from, whether it's from your home or whether it's from your workplace or whether it's from a train or a bus, wherever you're watching me from, I am going to just simply, by my talk today, reaffirm that you are wise. I'm simply going by my talk today, going to add something a little bit, just to your life today to say that, look, we all learn. But today, I want to add just something a little bit extra to what you know already, so that when you go through life, indeed, you can fly. Ladies and gentlemen, the title of my talk today is Be Transformed. How we can overcome the enemies of diversity, equity, and inclusion. When Vivian emailed me that I'm going to be talking on this summit, first I wanted to talk about, truly dive into, the steps that we can come up with so that we can include, these concepts in our companies. I wanted to talk about, what are the mechanisms of these concept of diversity, equity, and inclusion in our business, in our lives. I want to talk about attack the beast from the front. But then I thought for a second, out of 94 speakers, the truth is a lot of people are going to be talking about this. So what it is that I could talk about that could give you a plus, what it is that I could dive in that could give you a different total view on these whole three concepts. And so I thought that since diversity is the process whereby people from different backgrounds, ethnicities, religions, are brought together so that they could express themselves in their various unique way. Inclusion is basically giving access of opportunities to those who might be marginalized, and equity is basically the process of making diversity and inclusion as fair as possible. Then I thought for a second, what is common to these three definitions? Well, as obvious as it may sound, what is common to these three things are people. Oh yeah, people are human beings. Guess what? If there are no people, you're not going to be talking about inclusion. If there are no people, we're not going to be talking about diversity. If there are no people, we're not going to be talking about equity. But people. With so much development we have all around the world, what is the reason why until today we're talking about these three concepts of equity, inclusion, and diversity? What is the reason why? What is the reason why in the workplace we still have this much of more group people than others? What is the reason why people are not being awarded the same opportunities that they are supposed to? Well, some may argue that life isn't fair, but the truth is we gotta try to make it as fair as possible. So what is the reason why people are not being awarded the right and same opportunities? Now, here's what I found out. That since people are in the center of these three concepts, what I found out, ladies and gentlemen, is that the enemies of these three concepts, the reason why we're still battling with these three concepts in the core of our societies, the reasons why are nothing more but the three toughest demons of mankind: fear, self-doubt, and low self-esteem. Oh yeah, fear, self-doubt, and low self-esteem. Now, some may argue, but hold on. What does fear has to do with equity? What does fear has to do with diversity? What does fear has to do with inclusion? Let me share a story with you. There's this gentleman, a black man, that was in unemployment. And to his unfortunate circumstances, his boss turned out to be a member, a diehard member, a board member of the KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. Oh yeah, his boss was a member of that. Now, it goes without saying that his future in that very company was doomed. Yeah, that, his future in that company was doomed. He wouldn't look forward to growth. He would look forward to opportunities. But here's what this young man did. He committed himself that for the amount of time that he's going to spend on this job, and at least before he gets fired, he's going to make it a point that he tries to understand why his boss is in the KKK. Oh yeah, now months passed. The boss showed resistance. But as this boy tried to get into the zone of his boss, this boy tried to get in the zone of this boss, eventually what happens is that his boss confessed that the reason why he personally joined the KKK was because he was afraid of Black people. His boss confessed that the reason why he was this diehard member of the KKK was because he was born and indoctrinated in that. that he wasn't exposed to anything else. His boss confessed that the reason why he was this diehard member of the KKK and was ready to oppress as many black people as possible and was not prepared to offer any opportunity to the people of another race, he confessed that the reason why he did that was because he believed that if he awarded the same opportunities to black people, black folks will be ahead of white folks. Oh yeah. The enemies outside can do us no harm if there are no enemies within. The enemies within are nothing more but fear, self-doubt, and low self-esteem. Now, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, is that the reason why we are continuously spinning around this circle of non-diversity, of non-inclusion, and very little equity is because of, first of all, our own fear that we reflect on others. It's because of our own doubt of thinking and believing that if the other person had the same opportunity, they will overtake us. And it goes without saying that greed is an important element of that. Fear, self-doubt, and low self-esteem. Let me talk about low self-esteem for 1 second. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look, here's the thing, okay? I mean, this talk, I can try to make it, okay, very fancy. I can talk to you about data right now, but look, the time now has come that we spill some truth. The time now has come that we gotta be real, genuine to one another. We've got to put it out there. Somebody said, Napoleon Hill says that, spill it out. I am spilling it out right now. Oh yeah. Low self-esteem. You see, every time, yeah, it's true, we talk about the oppressor and the oppressed. Yes, we talk about that the oppressor bears much more responsibility than the one that's being oppressed. But the truth is, the one that's being oppressed has as much as responsibility as the oppressor. Nelson Mandela gave his life for 27 years as the oppressed and committed to the fact that his people will be free. What did he do? He raised himself to another level of self-esteem. He viewed himself in a different way, and that allowed him to pursue this battle so that his people can get inclusion, so that his country can embrace diversity, so that there is equity in his nation. Low self-esteem. When the oppressed, continuously finds himself trapped in a circle of victim mindset, oh yeah, we'll never talk about diversity. We will never talk about inclusion. We will never talk about equity. So it is therefore important that even the oppressed, even the person that is feeling not being included in the workspace, that even the person that's feeling that he's not being included in the process of diversity, that he takes himself up to a certain level of high self-esteem that is able to talk about this the way he's supposed to. Let me share a personal story with you, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I'm from Togo, T-O-G-O, West Africa. And at the age of 18, I took a decision to leave my country to change my circumstances for the better. With less than $150 in my pocket, currency being faith, a backpack with just few jeans and clothes, I decided to leave my country and go into a different country that I believe would afford me those opportunities. And that journey, ladies and gentlemen, took me about 1.5 years. During that 1.5 years, my parents thought I was dead. And that journey took me to land in South Africa. And eventually I got a job in sales and I worked for 3 years nonstop, 7 days a week, 13 to 15 hours every single day. And from selling just vacuum cleaner on the sales floor, I got promoted to leading the sales force of over hundreds of people. And I was in charge of generating more than $15 million. per year. Going from a little boy in a 2-bedroom house from Togo, a country that nobody almost knows of, going from that 2-bedroom house, going from not being able to live, not even on $1 a day, going from that to elevating myself to that position. It took something. But here's the thing, not because I was able to achieve that, the journey was not easy. I had to face these very things that we're talking about today. Even in senior management, I was the youngest manager in the company. My colleagues were double, triple my age. They were the age of my father, sometimes the age of my grandfather. But I wake up every single day and fighting and believing and taking myself to a next level of high self-esteem and believing that I too can make an impact. And I'll be fighting and talking to my bosses that, look, we gotta make this better. We gotta bring more Black people in this. We gotta offer more opportunities so our people from deep within the company. I know what I'm talking about when I talk about diversity, inclusion, and equity. So, ladies and gentlemen, if I talk about the enemies of these 3 concepts, what is the solution to this? On an individual level, what is the solution to this from a group dynamic level? What is the solution to that? I talk about transformation. Oh yeah, I love this Bible of the verse that says that do not conform to the things of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And the solution to neutralizing the enemies of these 3 concepts, the solution, ladies and gentlemen, is transformation. What do I mean by that? You see, transformation is defined as the change of one's outer form from one which it was to another, which is the result of an inner change. Transformation is basically the process of neutralizing in each of us our own limiting beliefs. Transformation is basically the process of us being able to identify, when we look ourselves in the mirror, is being able to identify what it is that is holding us back, what it is that is preventing us from being more diverse, what is holding us back from being more inclusion mind-oriented, what is preventing us from being more fair in our workplace, looking ourselves in the mirror, and therefore taking a deliberate and precise decision for us to transform. Do not conform to the things of your world. Do not conform to your circumstances. Do not conform to the fact that you have been programmed to practice non-diversity. No, do not conform to those things, but instead be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We gotta talk some truth, ladies and gentlemen. We gotta talk about some truth. So, ladies and gentlemen, what are the process for you to transform your mind? What is that process that you can use to transform your mind? First of all, you gotta decide. Decide for you to transform. Be honest to yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and admit whether you are indeed practicing diversity, whether you are indeed practicing inclusion, whether you are indeed being as fair as possible within your workplace. And that goes for both ways, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you are the person that's feeling marginalized, yes, look in the mirror and see whether you are carrying yourself from a level of high self-esteem that's enabling you to talk about that. We gotta talk about that. And when you decide, you've gotta look at what it is that's holding you back. What it is that's reinforcing that circle of limiting beliefs. What it is that's preventing you from actually taking the step that you need to take. And when you see what's preventing you from that, what you want to do, yeah? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? It's simply write down that today I break away from the things that are holding me back. Today, I shed my old skin, which had too long suffered the bruises of diversity. which had too long suffered the bruises of non-diversity, non-inclusion, and very little equity. Yes, today I am a new man with a new life. Today I am a new woman with a new life. Today I am a new man that embraces equity. Today I am a new man that embraces diversity. Today I am a new man that embraces inclusion. Yeah. But it's my firm belief that we are all born leaders. We have the spirit of leadership deep within, not of leading people, but leading each other's from our own area of gifting. And that's what diversity is about. And that's what inclusion is about. It's us being able to discover our own uniqueness and expressing it towards the accomplishment of goals, therefore fulfilling our purpose at the micro level and at the macro level. My name is Stephen Dosu. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for listening to my talk. I will see you very soon. Remember, you can be great, and I will see you at the top.